Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're hailing from. Welcome to GitOps Guide to the Galaxy. I am Chris Short, host of Red Hat Live Streaming. Eventually, I'll say that correctly. Yes. And I'm joined by the one and only Christian, the GitOps guy, Hernandez. How are things with you, Christian?
It's been great. Yeah, I also need to pivot from saying OpenShift.tv to Red Hat streaming, right? Like we sold the startup. Now we're official. We should fully embrace, right? We should fully embrace it, right? So
exactly.
Officially,
I have to go Google OpenShift TV and find every instance of it, though. At this point, because that's how it spread like very quickly.
Yeah. So I also need to make that mental switch because it's a good thing, right? It's a good thing. So doing great, as you all see. Me and Chris here, Chris and I, we coordinated shirts. We actually did it this time.
We did coordinate it this time.
Yeah, we did.
It was not by happenstance.
Yeah, it didn't happen by accident, how it usually happens. So today, packed show, right? Because we're kind of revisiting RBAC, as some of you, hopefully you've forgotten, but I'll remind you. We did a show about RBAC, right? And the demo kind of fell on itself.
I mean, do you want me to link to it or not?
Yeah, well, I mean, let's embrace it, right? We embrace failure. Yeah. Go ahead, link to the old one. So I figured we talk a little bit more about RBAC, review some of that, and kind of actually, hopefully, if the demo gods are with us, go through 3 different demos. So it's kind of packed today. So
okay, let's roll.
Yeah, let's roll. So before we get to it, I actually have some things to share. So let's do
cool.
I'm gonna do my best impression.
How's the universe?
How's the universe? Ask the galaxy, right? Let's take a quick. Let me know when you can see my screen. Let me move this little. Yeah, you see it. Let me move this little thing. I'm gonna do my best, Andrew Sullivan, right? It's like topical things, right? But I like the way you put it, right? Let's take a spin around the galaxy, see what's going on. So, couple of things I do want to mention is the let me put this in chat in the stream chat so you guys have it. So we released, so by we meaning the communities released application sets version 0.2. So and that'll be alongside with Argo 2.1. So nice. Here, this is a great article here from Jonathan West, who is not only a member of the Argo community but is also a Red Hat engineer. Kind of wrote up this little quip here about what's new in the release. We talked about application sets before, right? So when this comes GA on OpenShift, I'll revisit this and talk about like what's new and upcoming. But if you're like me, if you like living on the edge of the galaxy, go ahead, read that article and take application sets for a spin, right? Especially if you're using them already. There's some really cool new generators and some bug fixes and whatnot. So I'll let you guys take a look at that. We'll promise I'll come back to this because there's a lot of cool stuff I want to talk about.
Cool.
Also,
this is an office hour, folks. It's anything about GitOps. So
go ahead.
Feel free to ask your questions. We'll get everything queued up and we'll get you answered.
Yeah, we'll help you out where we can. If we can't figure it out, we'll make it up. So don't worry.
No, we won't make it up. We'll find somebody that can actually help you.
Yes,
we're good people.
We're good people. GitOpsCon North America. The schedule is out. So
schedule is out. I just dropped the link.
Schedule is out. You dropped the link. Perfect.
Yep.
So schedule is out. A lot of cool stuff going on, right? I'm actually working on
speakers.
A lot of cool speakers. I'm working a blog kind of highlighting everything that's coming up here. But just some of the key things is that I want to highlight. First, Dan Garfield and Scott Rigby, who were actually on the show before, separate occasions, right? They're going to do kind of the state of the GitOps and the GitOps working group. So that's going to be kind of exciting to hear. I have a keynote there. So kind of little bump for me.
Hey, yeah.
But we do have things like end user stories, right? There's, we have architects from Chick-fil-A, Starbucks, CERN has a talk, so that's going to be really, really interesting. That's really cool.
Yes.
I'm going to be excited about that. People from State Farm, and then the usual suspects, right? Red Hat, Weaveworks, CodeFresh is there. People from VMware. So it's a really action packed. It's one day. we actually had enough to make multiple tracks, but since this is a co-located event and we only had one day, we only have one room, so we decided. Right. So we have a single track, but there's a lot of things that that's up and running. So go ahead, check out the schedule, build out your schedule, and don't forget to register. Right. So you can register on the same page, or if you're registering for KubeCon, there is a you can add it as well. Yeah. So remember, it's also a hybrid event. So if you can't make it in person, there are going to be streaming it on the CNCF platform, right? Whichever platform, I forget which one they use. So
I forget the name of it, but yeah.
So if you can't make it out to LA, right? If
no
you
big
can't
deal.
meet, no big deal. I'll be there in person because I live here. But
right.
But if you
Christian,
can't make it
the
out,
only one with a valid reason.
Yes,
to travel to the convention center.
Yeah. Well, actually, well, the drive's gonna be, it'll be as if I'm traveling. LA traffic.
That's true. LA
traffic's bad. So for those that know, so anyway, if you can't be there in person, you can be there virtually. So it'll be a hybrid event. So no worries there. So one last thing. Talking about conferences. Remember,
I've already registered for this one.
Yeah, ArgoCon. It's gonna be December 8th. CFP still open, right? So we'll be there. Red Hat, Co-Frish, Intuit, kind of the core maintainers of Argo. Specific to Argo, right? So this is not just Argo CD and GitOps. This is like workflows. This is image updater, application sets, like everything under the umbrella of the Argo project. So I'll drop this also.
I got it. I already did it.
Oh, you got it. Look at you. You're on top
I'm
of it.
I'm fast, man.
You are quick, man. So so it's it'll probably be virtual. We talked about it maybe being in person, but it'll most likely just be virtual. Yeah. Stay tuned, but it's 90% be virtual. So yeah, cool. So now, topic at hand. Let's get to it. So RBAC, right? So this is a topic that always comes up, especially with people first adopting GitOps and Argo CD in their CICD workflows or in their environment, right? Because it's like it's the first thing that's top of mind. Especially for like me on the admin side, release management side, that's like a really, really important. So just to recap, right? If you didn't watch it, I don't know if you did put, you posted it. So in the link, we talked about RBAC kind of in depth before. So I'm just going to go over really quick about how RBAC works in Argo CD before we kind of dive into multiple ways of doing it. So let me make this a little bigger here. Just in case.
Please. I was just about to ask you that.
Yeah, make this a little bigger so you can see. So let me put this. Did you put that in the chat?
I'm grabbing it right now, but you can do it if you want.
I beat you to it first time. Okay.
But I'm bookmarking it.
You're bookmarking. Yeah, so that way you're quicker next time. Right? So Argo CD actually has two built-in roles. So there's two. So there's read-only and full admin, right? So that's kind of like the two extremes.
Wow.
Two
Lots
extremes,
of options, yeah.
You can either only, you're only looking through the window, or you're inside causing a ruckus, right? There's no
fun.
So there's no and the default is read-only, by the way. So
that's encouraging.
Yeah. So the default policy is read-only, like if you don't define it, right? So so the way RBAC works, after like the built-in one, it's like, well, if you need something more granular, you have to like essentially build it yourself in Argo CD. So it actually gets, so essentially it's the idea of like Legos, right? Like we'll give you the Lego pieces, but you have to build it yourself.
Wow.
And so there are when you're setting up your RBAC scheme, right, is essentially, it's a configuration file and comma separated values, and you start with like P, meaning you're going to build a policy, and then you're going to target a role, a user, a group, whatever, right? Whatever you scope it down to. So for most people, it's going to be a user or group. and then the resource, right? And the resources can be, like it explains down here, it could be clusters, it could be projects, it could be applications, it could be repositories, right? Resource meaning like a resource within the Argo CD world.
Right.
So you're
not
gonna
a
say,
Kubernetes resource.
No, not a Kubernetes resource. Argo CD resources, things
Mhm.
like the things that are listed down here. So, and then an action you can perform against that resource. So
Right.
things like get, create, update, delete. So you think of the CRUD, right? So
Mhm.
kind of just basic things that you can do to a resource, right? You can update it, you can list it, you can delete it. Have some things called sync, right? Sync specifically to Argo CD. You can sync the resource, and that's the object, the action, and then
Mhm.
the object within the resource that you can perform that action on, right? So that sounds if that sounds confusing, it is, because it was confusing to me when I
Okay.
was first diving into it, right?
No,
So it's fair.
I
So
would be kind of dumbfounded too at first. Yeah.
So I'm like, wait, what? Like, so then how do I build these? So tying it all together. So even the example is a little bit, I think, upside down, because they give you the policy
To open up everything.
first. Yeah. Well, they give you the policy first, and then to me, it makes sense, like building
On top of.
Yeah, like you're building, guys. I guess you're building on top of your roles, right? But for me, I like to build my role first and then assign the policy to the role. But in my mind, that's how it works.
Okay.
But this example, this is why I'm starting at the bottom. I guess this is a long way of me saying I'm starting at the bottom and going up. So this G in your policy. Oh, by the way, here it'll say default policy. You can set default policy to specifically to read only or admin.
Mhm.
But
Please,
if you don't, please don't put admin, right? Don't put the default policy, right?
So
It should
many
be
problems.
it should be denied by default.
Right.
So here, what you're saying is, all right, I'm going to a group, right?
Mhm.
And it says here, your GitHub organization, your team. So right away, you're going to be like, okay, well, how, and I'm going to say role org admin. So a few questions pop up.
Right.
So first, you said there's only 2 built-in roles. So why is there's different role now? Like, how?
Yeah. Where did this come from?
So where did this role come from? First question, right?
Right.
A second question: how does it know my GitHub org and your team sort of
Structure.
thing? So
yeah,
structure or anything like that. So stepping back just a little bit, and then I'm gonna jump right back into the Argo way of looking at things. So like, if technically speaking, in Kubernetes, there's not really such a thing as a user or a group, right? It's just a label that comes along with an API call, right? So your API call just comes with a label saying user equals Chris Short, or group equals admins, right? Like it, but there's no like real thing in it, right? As it grows, obviously there's they created objects and stuff like that. But if you just really think about the API calls that are happening back there, that's all it is, right? So now jumping back to Argo CD, similar thing, right? Argo CD doesn't house users or doesn't house groups in the traditional sense. It basically relies on the platform to pass that information onto it. So so when you say your things like your GitHub org, your team, that's just the label that comes through Kubernetes, right? So in the OpenShift world, when you connect to your OAuth, your OAuth is going to have certain fields in it, like group membership,
right?
And that's going to come through into Argo CD. So,
But it only comes through in the labels that were given to it, or you gave it.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. It's only coming through in the labels that were given to it, right? So it's very important how you tie those things together. And then when you're saying role org admin, you're saying, okay, policy role org admin for applications, it can do anything to any sub resource. I'm going to allow that. Let's get here. So like down here, I'm going to create a policy. So for role org admin, for the repositories, I'm going to allow for it to delete everything in that. So you're setting up policies. All right. So then you set up your policies in this weird way. right? Granular way. And then you set up, who it applies to and how do you tie those together, right? And that is in this next thing here. So let me put that in the project, right? So then when you're talking about projects, you're talking about the Argo CD project, not the OpenShift project. They're independent of each other. And they have their own view of how these things go, right? So
don't
conflict. Yeah, don't
confuse
the
two.
Yeah, they have the same name, but they're different. So
yes, they are different things in different places.
So so the biggest difference is that a Argo CD project can span multiple namespaces on OpenShift and Kubernetes. So
cool.
Whereas it's a one-to-one relationship on OpenShift, so that's why it's kind of hard to think about it. So I'll let you guys read some of the boring stuff here, but what I want you to take away from this document here is that so when you're specifying your app projects, you're going to say, hey, in my app project, here are the policies I want to target these groups, right? So you're saying policy for this role can get all the applications under projects and then apply that to that group. So so this is kind of like the high level, and it's really, really hard to like grasp all the little pieces. So this is why I ended up just like having 3 demos, because I think it's just easier just to just to see it in action versus trying to piece all these together. So let's go through the 3 demos, right? So I'm going to go through 3 demos. The first one, this is using OpenShift GitOps and Red Hat SSO. And so I have to say this first demo is the one that is 100% supported. So this is, so what I'm showing you is 100% supported. This is the way we're, if you're going to do it this way, and you can call Red Hat, and Red Hat will help you throughout this whole process. Happily help you through all this process. So because the reason I call that out is because I'm going to go through other ways that are not supported. So, so this, I decided to, on the first one, to go full support here. So let's go here. I should have here. Let's do OC get pods, OpenShift GitOps. Right. So I installed the operator already because that's just easy, right? You just click a button, you install the operator. And
I linked to the docs for folks.
Yep. And then and so what is easy here is what you want to do is so in order to set up for SSO, you have to do 2 things. One, you
need to have some place to call.
Yeah. Well, OC. So the operator takes care of this for you. So you have to do OC edit Argo CD OpenShift GitOps in the OpenShift GitOps namespace.
Okay.
All right. So here it's pretty easy. You go down to the spec, and then you add SSO, and then you do provider.
Provider makes sense.
Yeah. Keycloak. If I spell it Keycloak. Did I spell that right?
We'll see. Yeah, you spelled it right.
All right. So essentially, you just tell it in the specification Keycloak. And then this will kick off a deployment. So if I do a get pods here, as you see here, so that's adding. So this is
just adds a pod.
So essentially, and it adds all the connections for you. So
okay.
So like it, so right, yeah. So so normally in your SSO, like if you're using Keycloak, so for those of you who use Keycloak, you have to go in, create a provider, and then add the OpenShift as the provider, and then add the ODIC connectors, and then tell Argo CD to, this is your OID connect, OIDC bridge to, whatever, right? So all that stuff, the operator does all that for you. So me as a dumb admin, I like the image pull back off. OC rollout. Oops. OC get deploy. I think it's deployment. Let me clear this. It's not a deployment. It's not. What is it?
Pod.
Yeah, it's a pod now. Is it a stateful
But yeah,
set?
what was it? Oh yeah,
No.
it might be a stateful set. No.
Or no, that's not it. Daemon set.
Daemon set?
We don't know what it is.
How do we not know what it is?
That's a good question. Let's see. Is it a deployment config? Oh, it's a deployment config. Look at that.
There you go. Okay. All right. Ta-da.
Let's go pods. I think it should be fine now.
You get your gold star of the day, Christian.
There you go. Let's see. Yeah, it takes a while. So yeah, so then that is getting set up. So for, I think, should we wait for the rollout? Should we try?
I mean,
wait for the rollout.
Yeah.
So if you want, you can roll out status key cloak. Right. So for those, there we go.
Ta-da. There we go. See, I told you, but
it's out. All right, cool. So that's it.
Yeah.
Let's see, get routes, OpenShift, GitOps. And then we have
should be
right there.
There we go.
That's it here. So let's go here, accept the self-signed certificate. So here you'll get, come on.
Oh boy, here we go.
Let's go. Come on.
Come on.
There we go. So here it'll give you for those of you who use Keycloak, it'll have this
username and password.
Yeah, username and password there here. So so before I click, so let me just click here.
Right. What happens?
Right.
Yeah.
And then so here's a caveat. So one caveat. So one here.
The first time you do it.
Well, see, the thing is, usually here you'll do kubeadmin, right? And then you'll log
You're
in
not
with
supposed
kubeadmin.
to, but yes. I do.
Well, and most people do, right, when they're testing.
Yeah.
And even some of them keep kubeadmin around as
like an emergency fail.
Yeah, like as a fail safe sort of thing. Here's the caveat: you can't use kubeadmin with Red Hat SSO with Keycloak. No, with Argo. It works with Argo, just not with Keycloak.
All right.
So here, so that's one issue. So you need to actually have a user. So for this, I have OAuth. So OAuth YAML. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just create a simple HT password provider.
Okay.
And the HT password is just going to be OCP admin OpenShift, right? Like it's just, I'm just going to add that password file so that we can use that user. It doesn't have to be HT password. Remember, it could be whatever you want on OpenShift. OpenShift could connect to whatever you want.
GitHub. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever you want.
So I'm going to do OC apply to that. Let me try it again. There we go. So
okay.
So then that'll cause the API server to reload. So while we're waiting for that, let's give that user, which is that user OCP admin. Let's give that user permission, cluster admin, right? Because that's what we want. OCADM policy, add cluster role to user cluster admin to the user OCP admin. Cool.
Wait. Oh.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not found because yeah. I always and I always do it twice too. Just technically the first time it works, but I just do it the second time so that way it doesn't. I hate seeing errors.
Weird. Like, come on, why throw the warning?
Yeah. So this I have to close it here. Let's do an OC get pods OpenShift API server. There it is. So that should have, although, or maybe something else. Well, it should have. It says age 2 days, so I don't think it rolled it over. It should have, I think. Oh, let's try it. Let's get the route again.
Yeah.
All right. So here, again, Keycloak, log in with OpenShift. So now here, this is what you do, right?
There's your provider.
So now you do HT password provider. So then let's do OCP admin. Whatever the password was, it OpenShift.
You had it.
We're very secure here.
Yeah.
All right. So here, obviously, with the OAuth, it's asking what information you need. I want the user's full information. Cool. So here it brings you up this little information here that you have to provide. Who art thou? Right. Your email. Right. So I'll put Chris Short at redhat.com. Right. Right. Chris Short right here. And you need to provide that information so it saves it in Keycloak. So you do that. And there you are, right? You're logged in. And if you take a look at here, where is the user info? So here has the username here and the groups here. Okay. So here's another caveat.
Wait. Right? So it creates a username and a group of the same name
of your email, right? Yeah. So here's another caveat with using SSO. So let's create a group. Let's go OC ADM group. Let me clear this so you guys can see it. OC ADM groups, and I always have to get the help. New.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, who doesn't need the help? Let's create
groups.
Groups. What's it? Give me a cool name, a fun name.
Banana.
BANANA.
Oh, I should have given you one that you could spell easily.
Yeah, exactly.
Mississippi.
Yeah, that's right. And add OpenShift admin to it, right?
Okay.
And so then if you do OC get groups,
there'll be a banana and a C short.
A group.
No.
And then OCP admin here. If I reload this, that group doesn't come through. So there's an issue with SSO where it doesn't pass through the group to Argo CD. So there's an SSO. So then that's why I had to enter the information first. Is that
because it didn't get it from SSO.
Correct. Yeah, correct. Yeah, nothing came through. It's just your username just came through. So so we're doing those fun things here. So then also I need to give the controller admin access. 1 second. Okay, cool. So next step is actually setting up the policy for this user / group, right? And that is done in the config map, I believe. I'm checking out my notes here. Where is the config map? Here it is. Okay. So it is a config map. So that's clear. Here's this OC get CM GitOps. Argo CD should be a RBAC. There we go.
There it is. Yeah.
So let's edit. So here, cool. So then policy default read only, right? So that's the read only.
Good job.
Good stuff here. Yeah. And then so the policy CSV. So let's create. Let's create one. Let's call a G. So the group C. What do we call you?
Go back to the docs.
There we go. No,
C
we called
short.
you C short. Yeah.
Should have just done short. That would have been easier.
Yeah, it would have been easier.
Oh well.
Okay. Do you have that email address? Short?
I do.
Short at Red Hat? That's great. All right.
I wanted to get Chris, but I'll take short.
I'll do a role here and then admin, right? So remember, the admin role here is a built-in role, so I don't need to define anything else.
Right.
Built in. So I don't define anything else. I just say for the group, whoever's part of the Chris Short group, chrisshort at redhat.com, give it the admin role. And then so, and there. So then actually that should be it. So let's create an app. Then project default. Let's do manual. Let's go to my
handy dandy.
GitOps examples. Well, what's funny is that there was like someone posting an issue on the CNCF Argo CD Slack channel.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like having trouble like testing something, and it turns out they were just using my repo. And I was like, well, like this is my Scratch
personal space.
Yeah.
It's like my notepad.
Yeah, exactly.
like don't read instructions from my notes, please.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Don't. This is ugly. So, I mean, it's fine to get ideas and stuff, but
Christian,
don't actually use it directly.
I'm not calling your baby ugly.
Yeah, but it's ugly. No, I'm 100% there for you, with you. So BGD. So let's do that. That one's always easy. That BGD, and then again. So then I'll create this. This should create it here. let's synchronize swatches.
Yes.
Come on. Sync.
Didn't realize how high I had to hold up my hand to show my watch.
There you go. Cool. So then now Chris Short is able to do all the fun things.
Mm-hmm.
So admin, right? So this is kind of shows that you can offload authentication to something else, right? With Red Hat SSO. So this doesn't necessarily have to use OpenShift's OAuth, but I think it's just easier, right? Because you're using OpenShift can connect to like GitHub or LDAP or Active Directory, Google. I mean, all kinds of stuff, right? And you can use the users coming through that way, right? And this is 100% supported. What do I? Oh, yeah, this is another thing. I'll show this something else, but so yeah, so that's the idea of using Red Hat SSO. So the caveat is that groups don't come through, right? So if you are those people that just does everything with groups and not individual users, this may not work, right? You may have to tweak your workflow.
Yeah, you might have to build out your groupings a little bit, in advance. Yeah.
And then second one is you can't use kubeadmin, right? So you have to use a real user, right? Real user on the platform, right? So, but other than that, this is 100% supported, right? With GitOps operator, Red Hat SSO, it all works. It does it for you, as you can see. I only had to do a few tweaks here and there, but other than that, it works out just fine, and you can call Red Hat for it. So that's number one, right?
Right. So this is supported. Now we're moving into uncharted waters.
So now we're going to talk about unsupported territories. Let's go to the next cluster. I'm here. Cluster I have here. I built 3 clusters, so just to kind of keep it separate.
Your cloud privilege is showing.
Yeah, exactly. You're 100% right on that, right? And so so I did not install the operator here for a very specific reason, is because the unsupported way starts all the way from install, right? So on install, I actually need to tell it that I'm running unsupported. So let me take out my notes here so you can kind of see. So here, by the way, this is how you install an operator from the CLI, right? You just provided a subscription and it just magic happens in the background. Right. But then here I have to add this configuration, right? So configuration environment, disable DEX equals false, meaning I actually want DEX.
Yeah.
I want to be able to use DEX. And so are the pods up and running? Get pods, OpenShift, GitOps. Not yet. I have a little handy dandy script here. All right, so we'll start waiting on that. So so by default, the GitOps operator disables DEX because it's not officially supported by Red Hat. So again, this method here is not supported by Red Hat, but it works. It's one of those things. It's kind of hard to explain to people. Being an open source company, right? Because like usually when a company, this is especially true like with like Oracle or Microsoft, like when they say something's not supported, it means 2 things, meaning like 1, we won't support you, and 2, it doesn't even work, right? Whereas like in the open source world, it's like, well, it's not supported in that you can't call us, but it actually technically works and works fine. So and this is one of those situations, right? Although it technically works and I'm showing you how to do it, it's not technically supported. You can't call Red Hat for it. So
no, I just dropped it in the chat. So
all right,
in case you were curious, please read it.
Yes, you're correct. Yeah, that's right. So I'll just indemnify myself. This essentially is what I'm doing. So
some stuff's coming up now. Cool.
Stuff's coming up. Cool. So here, similar to the SSO, is actually you just kind of modify the operator, and the operator does everything for you.
Okay.
So I have actually a specific patch. I'll just run the patch, and then we'll take a look at it after, right? Because that's like, what are you doing there?
It's quite the patch. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a gnarly patch, right? Well, I'm all about automation, so it's
well,
like
I get it.
Yeah,
but your copy
really
pasta is awesome.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to read, right?
Yeah.
So let's do let's export Argo CD OpenShift GitOps, and then let's write that to temp OCGO. Yeah, YAML, and then code.
Oh, look at you. Hopefully you're sharing your whole screen. And you are. Yeah. Wow.
So is that whoa?
Yeah, no, whoa. Put that thing away. Hit the search thing again.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So here we go. By the way, for those that you saw, I ran an OC export. That's not an actual command. It's a plugin I have. So for those of you who are curious, there's a plugin here, so in case.
Okay.
So
OC export. So yeah.
Yeah, let's minimize this, minimize that. We don't need that. Here we go. Here's the section I want. Hold on. Where is it? There we go. I think it's missing something. Hold on. Maybe my export didn't work. Oh, here we go. So there's Dex, right?
Okay.
So cool. I say Dex OpenShift OAuth equals true. So essentially I'm saying, hey, Dex, I want you to set yourself up for OpenShift OAuth. So it's already built into the Dex image, even upstream, right? So it's already built in. So you can use this with OKD or OpenShift. So that's just step one. You're just enabling Dex. All right. Step two is kind of like where the gnarly configuration is. So here we go. So here I'm setting up RBAC. All right. So here, line 63, you see default policy I set to blank. And when you don't specify default policy, the default policy is read only. And then I'm saying anyone who's cluster admin, I want you to assign the role admin. So anyone who's part of group admins is part of the role admin. So that makes sense. That's the built-in role. The group developer. So anyone who's part of the developer group on OpenShift will have the role developer. And same thing for the marketing group. Anyone who's defined as a marketing group on OpenShift will be defined role marketing. So here's where it gets kind of weird. You're like, okay, well, there's a built-in role admin, but there's no built-in role developer. So where are you defining that? And that is actually in the deployment of the, where is it here? Cluster configuration. Let me make this a little bigger. So when I'm creating an application project, I'm going to create an Argo CD project called price list. And then here, I'm going to set up the developer roles, right? The policy says, okay, here, anyone I'm defining a policy called developer, and they can get everything under this application, all applications under this project. And then I'm setting you can sync all application under this project, and I have like basically view of everything under this project. So that's where I'm setting these policies. And so essentially you can think of this column here is the group as it comes into OpenShift. And then the role marketing is how I'm defining that role inside of Argo CD. And that's like where the connection happens. And again, I'm going to scope out the groups. So that is, and then the other copy pasta stuff is just resource customization specific for this application. We don't have to go through all this. Maybe I'll do a stream about resource customizations and what you can do for Argo CD. That's actually a good idea. Maybe I'll do that.
Yeah, that is a good idea.
It's like, how do you customize how Argo CD checks the health status of things, right? So especially if you're creating like CRDs and stuff yourself, you want to control how Argo CD handles those. So I just saw in chat that you had the referee. Go.
Yes.
That's great. I love that. So let's exit out of here. So cool. So that should be, so while that's going, let's OC get pods, OpenShift GitOps. and then come on, Dex. There it is. So Dex server is there. So now that that's there, let's apply this actual application project sort of thing. So where is talking about another copy pasta here?
Copy pasta.
That's right. Well, I forgot to do this. I had to give the controller admin so I can actually do stuff. Come on. There we go. Now we'll just deploy this repo. All right, and this is the repo that has all the stuff I want to configure. So this will take, cool. Bloop, 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 bloop. I probably should have ran that and then explained it. Now we have to now we just sit around for it to apply. Where is that here? Also I have other, well, that's in the other one. 1 second. Oh wait, no, it's, which one am I deploying? Good question. Okay, so this is
you're on cluster 2.
Yeah, I'm on cluster 2.
And that means you're deploying Dex. Yeah. And so
let's close that guy. I don't need that config here.
Okay.
Cool. So
I appreciate the tab cleanup though, right? Like
tab cleanup.
I fully appreciate that. You got to get rid of that stuff or else you get confused.
Oh man, you get into well then you end up like you and I, you end up with a tab manager, which is supposed to make your life easier, but it just compounds the problem. Now I have tabs of multiple tabs. So it's an enabler more than anything else. Okay, so let's go to the routes. Get routes, OpenShift, GitOps. Cool. So then this guy here. So much like the advanced, accept cert, go baby, go baby. So then now you have this login via OpenShift.
Cool.
And so let's see if the users have been added. So let's go OC get groups. Yeah, so there I have an admin group, developer group, and a marketing group, right? So because we know people from marketing, they love to
always need to log in. Did you give them kubeadmin just because?
The kubeadmin just exactly. So remember, like this group admins was defined in the let's go back to code.
So shout out to the marketing team using Argo.
That's right. Shout out to the admins are connected to role admin, developer to role developer, marketing to role marketing. I made it easy. So that's that's that group and that's the user. So let's log in with OCP admin.
Okay.
Oh, see it's not there yet.
Oh, why not?
Let's go to OC get pods OpenShift API server. Maybe it's the operator. Maybe that's it. Three restarts. Okay.
Okay. All right. That sounds about right.
That sounds all right. Yeah. Sometimes it just takes a while for it to come up.
The refresh.
See now, I think now it's coming up. All right.
Now it's coming up.
Yeah. When it craps, it's funny. When it craps out, I know it's working.
It's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress. Yeah. Sometimes people ask me like, how did you figure, like troubleshooting is like, how did you figure that out? I'm like, quite honestly, a lot of it is tribal knowledge. I mess up things so much that I'm like, hey, that error looks familiar. I ran into that exactly.
I hit that error.
Yeah. It's so it's like IT, like whether you're a developer, anyone in IT, it's not that you get smarter. It's just you mess up things so many times that you start seeing certain patterns. So here, let's go to HD password, and then I think, right. So let's go full access. Right here, me as an admin, I have access to everything. So I have so with Dex. So let's go back over here. So with Dex, my username comes through, and you notice right here it says admins. My groups come through as well. So if I want to do OCP ADM groups new BANANA OCP admin. I created banana, and then I think I have to log out, log back in.
Yeah.
That should come through now. I actually never tested this, so let's see if it comes through. I may have to restart the controller. No, bananas there now.
There's bananas.
So bananas. So if you're using Dex, the groups come through. So now you can start assigning roles based on groups now, not just usernames. So here, as an OCP admin, I'm able to sync things, right? Like I can sync this if I want to, that'll work. I can see different projects, right? There's cluster config, there's price list. I can see that project as well. Let's log out and log in as developer. It's a different password, I think. Yes, it is.
Well, no.
So here, again, developer, right? He's not a banana. So
right.
This particular developer is not a banana. That's only the admin. But they have access only to, if I go to projects, only to the price list project. I don't have access to any other project.
Interesting.
So as you see, I only have access to this one Argo CD project. If we go back to, let's go back. That's cluster config is the one. Config. So this is the danger of closing your tabs. You have to refine things that you wanted to show. There we go. Prices project, right? So here I'm allowed to get every application.
Right.
I'm allowed to sync every application.
Okay.
But does that mean so I can sync here?
Right.
That syncs just fine. It allows me to do that. Does that mean I can delete?
No, you shouldn't be able to.
You shouldn't be able to. Let's test this, right? So I get an error. I can't delete this application. So I can view it, right? I can interact with it. I can sync it. Can I pause syncing? I can terminate. Let's try it. Oh yeah, it does. So it allows me to terminate the sync.
So you can stop a bad rollout.
Yeah, like stop. yeah. Stop a bad rollout. Yeah.
Panic button.
Yeah, panic button. Yeah. Your schema change is going upside down. You're like, that sounds really bad.
All of a sudden, our error rate just increased. Did anybody do something? Oh, that was me. Sorry.
Yeah, that was me. So
damn it, banana.
Yeah. Damn it, banana. There's a banana group. Just for fun, the banana group. I love the banana. I'm gonna start using that now. OCP marketing.
Okay, what can marketing see?
What can marketing see? Let's see here. They can see nothing, right? Because they're marketing. Who really wants them to? Let's see if they can.
They don't have their own little app.
No,
there's got to be some Argo thing we can do that helps marketing somehow.
Oh, yeah, some marketing. That's right. So if any of you out there have an app that can help marketing, we'll throw it up on here. And
absolutely, yeah.
Marketing, right? Marketing has that. So, so this here, the RBAC here on Argo CD, you have to think about how it's independent of the OpenShift one.
Right.
So you can actually have,
and because it's independent, it's not supported. Yeah.
Correct. So so this is part 2, right? So this method using Dex, groups come through. Yeah. So which is actually a good wrap up because the last way of doing it is my favorite way. It's the easiest way. So so here with Dex, you're able to get you got the username, you get the groups, right? So the groups come through, and you're able to use OpenShift OAuth, which OpenShift OAuth can use then LDAP, Active Directory, whatever. So the only caveat is it's just not supported by Red Hat. So so there's that, right? So you can use Dex, but kind of like use it as in your own honestly, use it as in your own demise, but it's not like Dex doesn't work. Dex is fine.
Right? Like use it at your own discretion, right? Like
I guess your discretion, like
I mean if you don't want Keycloak, you can use Dex. That's fine.
Right? You can use Dex, right? And like if you talk to a lot of Red Hatters, they like using Dex. But as you were about to say, it's just not like you can't, like if something's wrong with Dex, you're gonna have to just go on the forums or
yeah,
issue,
hit up the Slacks or whatever.
Hit up Slack, GitHub issue, and just go that route. So there's that. So
cool. All right. What's your favorite easy way?
My favorite way.
Yeah.
So so far we're talking about Argo specific, right? My favorite way is actually using GitOps workflows specifically. What do I mean by that? So I have cluster 3. All right, 3 clusters.
Woohoo!
OpenShift GitOps. I installed the operator's installed. Cool. OC get secrets. OpenShift GitOps.
How many times a day do you type OpenShift GitOps?
A lot.
Yeah, okay.
I should have a shorthand, right? Like OSO, right? Or
yeah.
OGO. It should be OC-N OpenShift GitOps, and then just I think I'm gonna let's do that here.
Giving you a new idea now. Here we go.
If you guys want to know how to write a function inline, I think I'm missing something. OpenShift GitOps.
Quotes?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yes, I am. No, this thing.
Oh yeah, that thing. Yeah, you got to terminate.
So OGO get secrets. Oops.
Oh.
Does that work?
It didn't work.
Secrets.
No, don't troubleshoot this. Just don't troubleshoot this. Just keep going.
Oh, I did. Now I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole.
No,
anyway,
don't go down a rabbit hole. You don't have time. No rabbit holes.
That's right. No rabbit holes. All right. So I get that secret. I do not the Argo CD secret. GitOps cluster. That's it.
Or is it?
It's one of these.
It's one of the server tokens, maybe.
Oh, here I actually have it. I could copy paste it. All right.
Oh.
OpenShift GitOps cluster is what it is.
Got it. Okay, so you were going down the right path there.
Git routes, OpenShift, GitOps. I know the mistake I made, and I'm trying to not go back to it. Resist. Yeah, I gotta resist going to it because I need to make a point here, right? So, oops, that's not it. So here I log in as actually Argo CD admin.
Oh.
So why am I doing that?
Yeah. Why are you doing that? Are you setting up something in Argo for us?
And then I need to give the controller cluster admin. Right.
Okay.
Cool.
Why is that? Why isn't the controller getting cluster admin by default? Is it like a day 2 for Argo step?
Yeah. I mean, so we we as in like engineering Red Hat is
okay. Yeah,
we want the idea is that it should be secure by default. So
okay, right.
Even me giving it cluster admin is technically a no. Although I have the belief is like if you're doing GitOps, the controller needs to have full access to your cluster. So that's just but Argo CD or OpenShift GitOps, the idea is you're using it for your CICD workflows, and so that's why they shut it down. Meaning, like you should probably just open it up per namespace, and it makes sense, right? So, like from that aspect, it makes sense. So here, let's create a new app. I don't care which project. Manual.
Pick your own project.
Yeah,
Argo, you should know what you're doing.
Yeah, you do you. That's it. Yeah, it's AI/ML ops, right? You figure it out. Yeah.
YOLO ops.
YOLO ops. Yeah, exactly. Let's create here, right? So I logged in as am I missing something? Oh, project.
Oh, you do have to specify.
I do have to specify.
You can't tell it no project.
I can't tell it YOLO, right?
Yeah, sorry.
So here, and then I sync. So the point I'm trying to make here is that now if I want someone to make changes here, or if I want someone to do something with a cluster, I actually don't want them to log into Argo CD. So from a GitOps standpoint, what you need to do is someone needs to make a pull request.
Right.
Like I'm moving the RBAC
Yeah.
the change, the point of change into your Git workflows right now. So using something like GitHub, Bitbucket, GitLab,
There's a bunch
whatever,
of them now.
right?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them, right?
There's a few. Yeah.
They have their own.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I'm surprised Google doesn't have one, but anyway,
I think they do.
yeah, I know Azure has one. It's really weird. Anyways, everyone has their own. Git T. I like using Git T.
Git T is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, Git T is awesome. The idea is that you're using that system, right? The RBAC built into your Git workflows.
Yeah. And so that way it's one management of users and groups and so forth, so on. Yeah. And that management of it is done in the system of record.
Correct.
Which is GitHub or GitLab or whatever it is you might be.
Whatever it is. In the source of truth, right? In your canonical source of, like, you want to keep track of all those changes in that. So
really you're just using Argo admin and you're done.
Correct. And
okay.
And so there's a few things with that. So one, it's 100% supported by Red Hat. That's the most important.
Good point. Yeah.
And two, it's actually this workflow doing just making pull requests, using that whole system is tool agnostic. So it works whether I'm using Argo CD, it works whether I'm using ACM, it works whether I'm using Flux. It doesn't matter what tool I'm using. What matters is my Git workflows.
Yes.
Right.
You solve the problem in the Git repo.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. You saw. So like if you
in the GitHub organization or Git organization of any type. Yeah.
If you don't want marketing to make changes, you don't accept their PRs. Right. Or you don't even let them, you don't even let them in your organization, right? Like in your GitHub organization, you don't even let them in, right?
I mean, unless they need to make a change to a certain file that would then kick off another sync. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you keep their.
But I mean, that's the granularity, right? That's
right. That's you get access to this one project, right? Yes, or one project repo. Yeah.
So I am a fan of letting the tool do its thing, right? Not building so much into into the tool itself, right? Even though it's more than capable, and even though Gerald, right, who I talk about a lot, disagrees with me. I which is cool. I mean, I understand.
I understand both sides, right? Like me being the neutral party here, I understand why you would be like, nope. Admin means cluster admin, and cluster admin means this group. Done. Yes. They have access to that, and then developers get to it through GitHub or GitLab or Git or whatever. Yeah. I understand that model, but I also understand the potential need for a developer to stop a bad sync.
Yes.
Or without having to pick up the phone. Right. Right. Yeah.
Or just like view, like, how did my sync go? Or what's the status of, so I understand. I also understand both sides, right? And I'm not saying one's better than the other. What I'm saying is that
they're both possible.
They're both possible. And whether you want to do one or the other, you can, right? Like you can do it, right? So
we got a question and we have 70 seconds.
Let's do it.
It could trigger same as simple CICD, right? Like trigger a build with a specific commit name, specific branch on pull request. Yeah, totally. That's what GitOps is about.
Yes, correct. Yes. Yeah. So I've been using like main, right? And like and going to the head of main.
Right. Like if it goes in main, kick off a sync. Yeah.
But like you don't have to, right? Like you can do a specific branch, right?
Yeah. You could say if you merge things into this branch of this repo, it goes off. Yeah.
You can and you can even say, not only target a branch, but a specific tag of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Or yeah. That's awesome.
So yes.
Such granularity, such power. And
such
multiple ways to give people access or not give them access to it. Just depends how you want to manage change in your environment. Yeah,
exactly. So just imagine where you want to manage change, and there's something there for you. I went through 3, right? 2 of them are fully supported. There's more, right? 2 of them are fully supported. One of them is not supported, but totally possible, and it works. It's just, buyer beware.
Right.
We can't support DEX right now. So
yeah.
So yeah, we did this in an hour. Look at that.
Good job, Christian.
I thought I was going to go over, and I thought we're going to have trouble, but it looks like
no, dude, you nailed it, man. Great work. Yeah.
So cool.
Augustus says, nice, awesome.
Awesome. Thank you. Welcome, by the way. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome. We appreciate you tuning in live. If you're watching this after, we appreciate you tuning in as well.
Nareen said he couldn't make it. One of our regular watchers.
Yeah, Narendev could not make it because he has the flu.
He has the flu. But if you're watching this on recording, I'm just saying hi. Thank you for watching.
Thank you very much. And
all right.
Christian, I'll catch up with you later. I have another meeting to run off to.
Yes. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, and stay safe out there.
Cheers.